boxers. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Billionaires in Boxers. I'm excited to introduce you to Holly Jacksonand and Alex Sanfilippo. We are working on a really awesome project together that I am excited to introduce you to, but most importantly, I'm excited to introduce you to these two very wonderful people with me today. So let's start as we mean to go on. Ladies first, right? So Alex.
Nice.
No, I'm joking.
That was good.
Holly.
Good start.
Holly, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm blessed. Yeah, really, really good. So for our audience that haven't come across you, which I imagine is quite unusual at this point, because if people are following me, they tend to meet you at an event or somewhere that we're producing some work. But why don't you introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what you do, who you help, what your superpower is?
Yeah, amazing. So I'm a revenue and performance consultant. This means I help small business owners and leaders and teams find revenue, plug their profit holes, and reach peak performance. And that's my superpower, is helping them find that revenue. And I just intuitively know pretty quickly from having conversations with them and their team on how to do that. And I love what I'm doing. And of course, I wouldn't be here today without Phil. He is incredible. And yeah, you guys are in for such a treat today.
Oh, thank you. I will pay you that $50 for the compliment later. But no, look, finding money is a pretty impressive superpower to have. I think that's the superpower that most people would want to have. Money definitely makes things easier. But you know what? One of the things I love about your work is that you have this innate ability to be able to see where people are leaving money on the table. And that's really cool, because it's not a, hey, let's create another revenue stream, let's create a course, let's write a book, let's do all this. It's here's where you're leaving money right now. Like the money that should be in your bank that's being left on the table, here's where it is, here's how you go get it. I think that's such a super cool strategy.
Yeah, it's like finding the gold mine at the end of the rainbow. And of course that's fun, because that's what we're all here for. And it's not just about the money, but it's what you can do with that money, that impact you can have, the communities you can serve, the customer experiences and employee experiences you can create. And that's why I love what I do.
Yeah, I love that. It must be a really easy sales pitch, actually. It's like, hey, do you want more money by doing no more work? It's like, no, I'm okay losing money. I love that. Alex Sanfilippo, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. And by the way, Holly and I, before we started, Phil made us take notes and say, one of you has to say something nice about me. And me and Holly did 1, 2, 3, not it. I won, so Holly had to say something nice about Phil.
Correct.
I'm just kidding. Phil, I'm glad to be here, man. Anything that you do is gold, so I'm really honored to be here. As Phil said, my name is Alex Sanfilippo. I focus on all things podcasting, and that is all I do. I know my space, I know my niche, and so I create software solutions for independent podcasters to help them go further, faster. And that's not just the hosts, but also the guests. And that's what I'm focused on full time, is again just that industry, getting these independent voices heard and elevated.
No, I love that, dude. I love your work, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. People will have heard me talk about it a lot, actually. Anybody who's even heard any of my guest appearances, I mention Podmatch a lot. This is the genius behind Podmatch. It's a phenomenal site and a platform for people to network. It's kind of like Tinder for podcasters without chlamydia. I mean, maybe some chlamydia, but
a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just make it interesting. What's crazy is that we do a lot of work together, but this is actually, as far as I'm aware, this is the first podcast we've ever done together.
When you hit record, that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, Phil and I have never actually, like, we've been on other stages together that are other people's platforms, but never one of our own. So, like, here we are making history, and everyone's here to witness it. How amazing.
No, I absolutely love that. Well, the thing I wanted to introduce you to with these two amazing people is we have been working on a project called the Broadcast Mastermind, which is an introduction for how to put you on the same broadcast network that introduced me to the top of my industry. So we've been ranked number 1 in the world now for the past 6 years. Anybody who's listened to this show for more than 2 minutes will hear me talk about, don't wait to be discovered, invite yourself. This firmly is your invitation to the Cool Kids table, which is why I was so excited to bring you these two people, because they are my first two partners on this project. They are the people that when I took this to, just even before I'd finished speaking, went, yes, let's do this. So I absolutely love that. Holly, you were actually the very first person that said yes to this, and that in fact, you were the first person I spoke to about this, but you were the first person that said yes to this. So what was it for you that just made you say, okay, this makes total sense?
Well, first of all, I am still pinching myself every day that this amazing guy, Phil, wants to partner with me, because everything he touches it turns to gold. It's incredible, and it's really fun to work with him. He genuinely cares about his clients. But what I found most enticing about this is the fact that when I'm working with clients, one of the biggest challenges they have is being seen and heard. And they work so hard at their superpower. They have these incredible skills and services that can help people magically overnight. And yet they're hiding like in a cave. Nobody can find them or see them. And so when Phil told me about this network, and by the way, he should tell you the story of how this came about, because it's a really cool story. I was just like, this is something that everybody should have access to, and it would help my clients. It would help people I've spoken to in networking events. And ultimately, especially small business owners, they need to get their services out into the world to help more people. And so this is really powerful, and it gives them that credibility overnight to get in front of people that they want to work with, which is really cool.
Definitely. And do you know what? I'm going to be honest. I think one of the things I love the most about the fact that we're doing this work together is that, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, I'm saying it on air now, so tough, is that you were a client first. And I love that, because I get, I mean, if I said 100 people a month saying, let's partner together, let's collaborate, let's combine our stuff together, it would not be an exaggeration. And I'm very careful about the fact that it takes a lifetime to build a reputation, but only a minute to lose one. So I'm very careful about who I partner and associate with. But having worked with you and seen how well you implemented our strategies and just took the ball and ran with it, that's what makes this so special, because A, it's additional validation of that what we're doing is helping people, but B, I feel like the best people to come and support me with this are people who've been through this journey and understand what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because I know it's easier to work with people that you've already worked with and you've built that relationship, but also they've walked that path so they can speak to it and they understand that it does work. And if you're listening to this and you're feeling any sort of skepticism, which you should not, because you got some really smart people here right now, this is incredible. It works. If you actually implement and take action and join this incredible network, like there's nothing like it, you are going to move miles. You're going to go, like you're going to accelerate past any goals that you've set for yourself this year. It's that amazing.
Yeah, no, thank you. Well, look, I mean, how this came about, and I don't mind sharing this story, because like I'd love to pretend that I'm this genius that comes up with all these great ideas. It's not true. I just surround myself with really amazing people, and opportunities sort of find me, which is great. But how this one came about, and in fact, this is evidence of what I've been talking about a lot on podcasts recently as a guest and as a host, which is your best products and services don't come from your mind. They come from the minds of your clients, because they're the people who are buying what you do. They're the people who are giving you the immediate feedback in your industry. So to give him the credit, one of my clients, Sebastian, who I've been working with for a while, great guy, tech and business consultant, works a lot in investment, awesome guy. I'll leave his link in the comments. You should go check him out. He said to me in about November time, he said, okay, this strategy of using podcasting and networking is working phenomenally well. I'm winning clients, I'm winning business, I'm winning speaking slots, but it has a ceiling. And I said, what do you mean it has a ceiling? And he says, well, I'm trying to speak to the people at the top of the industry, and it doesn't work because I can't get past the gatekeeper. The first question they're asking me is, well, how many downloads do you have? And because that's not my strategy, even though it's irrelevant, I'm not getting to speak to the person I want to speak to. And if I say, look, a couple of thousand or whatever it's going to be, they just go, no, we're good, thanks. And I don't get to have the conversation. So he said, can I just pay you to put my content on your network so that I can instantly borrow your top 5% status, million downloads a month? And I thought, what a brilliant idea. That's a really, really clever idea. It's massive credibility. It's plug and play. Like, even if you've never created an episode before in your life, the second you sign up to be a client, you're a host of a satellite television network reaching 50 million homes across 40 different countries and the top 5% podcast with 1 million downloads. I mean, like, good luck building that on your own. So that was awesome. But now the problem I had, and again, I want to be completely transparent here, was that my TV networks are in partnership with other people, which means that I don't get the final say as to who gets signed off. So putting you on the podcast, fine. Streaming channels, fine. Radio stations, fine. All that stuff, no problem at all. The television stuff was a problem because I could pitch 100 people's shows to my partners, and if only 20 of them get picked up, I have no say in that, which means that I would have 80 people very annoyed that they hadn't been picked up. So, almost by fate, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, a rival of mine contacted me and said, look, competitor said, we're getting out of the business, we're going to retire, you're the first person I'm speaking to, would you like to buy my television network? So I bit their hand off. Not literally. They kind of need it for retirement, otherwise they're not going to be able to play golf. And I accepted it and said, yes, absolutely, I will take it. And what that gave me was instant ability to say yes to all of my clients. This is yes to the people that we want to elevate. And that was where it came from. So I have to thank Sebastian. I also have to thank my competitor for bringing it to me. There's lots of other people he could have took that to. So this feels like a sort of movement of all these different parts that just happened to the stars aligned and this all came together in the right way. And Alex, this is we've done a few little bits and pieces together, but this is the first kind of major project that you and I have done together.
Yeah, listen, man, that story you just shared, when Phil reached out, he's like, hey, man, I have an idea I'm working on. And we were just over voice messages. I'm like, all right, what do you got? He explained that story to me. And the first thing, two things really resonated with me. Number one was the fact that he was listening to the people he serves. It wasn't, I got this idea and I'm brilliant. Like, Phil didn't say any of that. He's like, no, my ideas aren't even that great. But this was a good idea that someone gave me. And then the clarity in which he was able to execute and the integrity in it. He's not like, we got these partners and maybe someone will get on TV networks and that'll be fine. No, he's like, I can't say with integrity. And then he's like, but this competitor approached me. I bought them out, which is like a huge power play, by the way, right? Like, made that happen. And then I'm like, man, the integrity, the clarity of the mission, the fact that it's already been validated because it wasn't his idea that he just pulled out of thin air, was an instant yes for me. Like, he's like, hey, just think about this. I think I waited 15 seconds. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. Tell me what we got to do. So, I mean, Phil, I think that what you're doing here is going to be what gets people through that door that they've never been able to get through before, because as an independent podcaster and the guy who serves the small indie podcasters, I hear that frustration all the time. Like, man, people just won't take me seriously. I have a really purpose-driven show with 300 people that love it and listen to it. But when you're getting that gatekeeper, the gatekeeper is programmed by social media. It's like, unless I hear the word million, you're not getting past me. Even though, and many times, the person, the lead, is like, I don't really care. Like, if it's my audience, I love it. But you've got to get past the gatekeeper. And this ensures you a way to do it. And this is really, in my mind, the only place I've ever heard a guarantee that you're going to be able to make it happen. So, yes, all in on it, man. Love this idea.
Yeah, and well, thank you for a start. I think what really got me with this particular process is that most people I work with feel like their industry's best kept secret. Like, if more people knew that they existed, they would want to do business with them. And they all kind of find themselves stuck in this sort of middle ground of, I know I'm good and could be helping more people, but I can't work out how to get on that stage, on that television platform. I can't work out how to partner with that person. And one of the things that this network has done for me is, and I often describe it this way, both of you will have heard me say this in confidence, this is my VIP backstage pass to network with anybody I want to network with. If I want to be a keynote speaker on an event, I can invite the event organizer on a show. Even if I've never met that person, I can invite them on. The first question they're going to ask me is, great, how many listeners do you get? Well, it broadcasts across 50 million homes, 1 million downloads per month on a top 5% podcast network and a streaming network. Do you want in? The answer is yes every single day of the week. And just having that credibility power play is what has led us to this point. I mean, I talk about this all the time, and I don't want to play down what I do or what my team do, because they do a really good job, right? But somebody was talking to me about this not a month ago, and they said, how do you know when you're an industry celebrity? And it was a really interesting question, because nobody knocks on your door with a plaque or an award or says congratulations. It's a perception thing, and perception beats perfection. So then the game becomes, how do you control the perception? Well, the way I see it, you have two ways of controlling the perception. You either take the tried and tested but not very popular fake it till you make it approach and just lie and say that you've got that reach even when you don't, or you plug in with something that's already existing, like something that we have. However, that's exactly why we've made this invitation only. That's exactly why we're being very careful about who we work with, because without putting too fine a point on it, all three of us have a show on that network. We live and die by our reputation. So if we bring people on that don't deserve to be at the top of their industry, that's going to negatively affect all of our businesses, and you better believe that I'm not doing that.
I got to jump in there, man, because that is such an important point. Again, going back to the integrity that's involved in this, that to me is my number one core value. I myself have some programs that are invite only, and some people are like, why don't you accept more people into them? I'm like, because they're not the right fit. They're like, yeah, but you're literally saying no to money. I'm like, yes, I am, for the sake of my reputation and the reputation of people I care about. Right? Like, you can only help who you can help, and it's not everybody. And the people are like, I'm for everybody. It's like, man, they're gonna tarnish other people's reputations, including theirs. And Holly and Phil are both people that I know that are not willing to do that. They say no far more than they say yes. And that's why, like, protecting that quality is what makes it valuable. I'm just saying, if the whole world could get in like that, it's not valuable. But it's valuable because you're saying, hey, we're going to do our good job vetting this to make sure that this whole thing is run with excellence, that the people in there deserve to be there. They've got the right flow to make it happen, right? And again, another reason I'm just really excited about it.
You're so right. Look, I'll share this, and I won't turn this into a rant, I promise. But there's two things that I see happening a lot in the industry, and both of them really annoy me because I know that both ways aren't the way to succeed. They're not the way to grow your business, but that's what people have been told, right? Thing number one is say yes to more opportunities. Just say yes. In fact, there's books out there. Just say yes. It's the worst advice in the world. Like, if you say yes to every date, you're going to have some horror stories by the end of the year, right? If you say yes to every client, you're going to have massive headaches, because how many of us have worked with people that we really wish we hadn't bothered, right? Both here and within the audience listening or watching, right? Loads of us have had people and relationships that we really wish we hadn't bothered. If we just say yes to everything, we're saying yes to more of those relationships. That's terrifying. The other thing that people say, and I'm going to criticize some of the big boys here, is this hustle mentality. Just hustle, hustle, hustle. It's so stupid. And I can't even word it in a nicer way. It's really dumb, because such an important and crucial part of success is rest. Right? You have to be able to rest. So what I'm talking about here is working smarter, not harder. You could go and do, 100 interviews a year and push every single one over social media and edit them and push them and be tweeted about them 10 times a day and following Gary Vee's $80 strategy and leaving like 100 messages on each social media platform every day just to try and get some engagement. Or you could turn up and talk, have a great conversation, network with potential clients, partners, stages, speakers, people that are going to grow your business and grow your authority, and let us do the rest of it. Let my editing team take care of it. Let us broadcast it and get your credibility and everything up. You just focus on being you and your superpower. I mean, I use this example a lot, but even if we just did it this way, guys, I talk about it's better to be famous for 50 of the right people than 5 million of the wrong. And everybody always agrees with that statement. And every single time without fail, when my follow-up question is, so who are those 50 people for you, I get blank expressions. They don't know, right? So this is about not only teaching people how to grow their money, grow their business, grow their sales, grow their authority. It's about helping them understand who those 50 of those right people are and giving them a VIP backstage pass to go and network with those people, of which the content is the byproduct that elevates you to the top of your industry. That's what excites me about this.
Yeah. You know what excites me about this is you hear all the time people buying vanity metrics. This is not vanity metrics. These are they're integral, real metrics, giving you real access to real people that we believe they have integrity to be amazing thought leaders in their industry. They're often heart-centered leaders that have incredible services and products or movements or nonprofits. And we're here to serve them, to get that message out there. And it's not just about access to the network. It's about teaching them how to use that authority and credibility to grow their revenue, to get in front of more speaking opportunities, to have better authority as a podcaster, to do incredible things and to be seen and heard and have that access. So it's not just access to the network. It's a real number. It's not buying 500 followers here and 1,000 things here and a Forbes article there. Like, that's silly. This is your fast track to actually having legitimate authority with direction and wisdom from somebody who's built it.
Definitely. And you know what? I said this to somebody the other day, and I hope it doesn't sound arrogant. I said, this for me, and it wasn't my idea, it was Sebastian's idea. This for me is my two best things, my two best assets. This is access to my brain and my network. These are the two things that have put me at the top of my industry, and I'm giving both here and saying, here they are on a silver platter. In fact, screw that, it's a golden platter, right? Diamond encrusted. And one of the things that comes with this, almost as a byproduct in it, and it can actually be practically forgotten about while we're talking about the network and the learning and all that kind of stuff, but for me is so valuable, is the mastermind group itself. Like the group of people that are in that room. Like, you cannot understand the power of being in a room with those people who are going to be the future industry leaders. These are already people who are rocking at what they do, but they're about to be fast-tracked to the top of their industry. You guys knowing each other and being able to do business together and introductions. I mean, there's $1 million partnerships just sat in that room. And how crazy is that we've created a room full of future industry leaders, the people who are going to be the creme de la creme, top of the tree, giving everybody a personalized invite in there. You can create multi-million-dollar deals and loads of partnerships in there, get speaking referrals, keynote speaking gigs, corporate workshops, win clients, and we don't even hardly mention it because it's so much of a byproduct compared to everything else that we're doing that it's almost forgotten about. Like that, since that for some people is their main selling point. It's come and do this. Like Alex, you and I are in a number of mastermind groups, and the people in there are what makes it powerful. It's rarely the information. It's the people and the relationships.
You know, really the bonus of what you've got here is the Broadcast Mastermind, like teaching you, like giving you all those tools. Like you're saying, the power is in the people that are already going to be there. There's the overplayed saying that a rising tide lifts all ships, right? You're ensuring that the harbor that you're going to be in has really valuable ships. Like a rising tide in a junkyard of boats is like, okay, whatever, right? But like this is all like really high level people that are going to be able to change the future of an industry. In my mind, podcasting is, sure, it's 20 some odd years old, whenever, however old it is, right? But it is still in its infancy in many ways. Right now, we are seeing the people come into this industry that are going to shape its future. And I believe this is going to be the forefront of it. And so I, for one, am excited to be there to meet those people. The byproduct of what I get out of it is great. But if you can put me in the room with those people, I know what to do with those relationships. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what? I think that podcasting is still one of the most genuine forms of media. And to be able to have that genuine conversation that's released as a podcast audio, have the edit then be cleaned up and put out on satellite television whilst you're building those relationships. Like, I want to stress this. This is not I don't want people to see this as a plug and play. I don't want people to see this as, well, I already have a podcast. Let's just put the content on there and now I reach 50 million homes and 1 million downloads. You're missing the point of you're doing that. This is about how do you grow your business, how do you grow your authority, how do you grow your influence and help more people and achieve more in your industry. The byproduct of that is that you're a satellite television host, a podcast host. That's the vehicle to get us to the destination. It isn't the destination.
Yeah, we wouldn't even be here today if I wasn't in a mastermind with Phil in the past. And this idea might not even look the way it does if we hadn't had that relationship and worked in that group. So I can only begin to imagine, like, we're looking at the tip of the iceberg right now of what this is going to create. It's going to be phenomenal.
Well, actually, interestingly on that, so I've given credit to Sebastian a couple of times. Sebastian was a referral from somebody who became a client of one of my masterminds who I met in another mastermind. So this whole idea has been shaped because of mastermind involvement in different groups. Firstly, in somebody else's where I met someone. One of those people then became a client of mine. Loved the work, said, you need to meet some people that I know, introduced Sebastian. He then joined my mastermind and then came up with this idea. So look, I think this is really special. I'm gonna end on a question I want to ask you both. And Holly, I'm going to come to you first. I'm going to put you on the spot. I should have told you I was going to ask you this before, but I like the answers to be more genuine, right? I'm going to ask you first, who shouldn't do this? And then I'm going to flip that question and say, who should? Okay.
All right. Who shouldn't do this? If you're getting ready to retire, perhaps you shouldn't do this because you're, not wanting a lot of stuff.
It's definitely true.
Yeah, if you can't serve more clients, like you're not ready to scale your business up or you don't want to do that, this isn't for you. So that's who should not do this. Also, I guess if you're not an action taker, if you're not going to like take action on leveraging credibility and doing what the mastermind recommends, it's not magic, right? If you follow the routine and you follow the roadmap, it's incredible, but you have to be an action taker. So that's who it's not for. Who this is for people who want their business, their movement, their nonprofit to shine. They want to get their message out into the world, and they want the vehicle and the smarts and the people and the support network and the accountability to get there quickly. We're not talking about months from now. We're talking about you sign up for this, you have that credibility overnight. This is incredible. So if you're an action taker, you want to have big impact, you want to reach more people, get more clients, get more speaking gigs, have more investors, you should sign up today. Absolutely.
I love that. One of my clients called it a skeleton key the other day. They messaged me and they said, I've changed all of my LinkedIn outreach to now include the stats and what we've done. They haven't even recorded any content yet. They said it's opening doors that I never thought possible. I'm getting invites to speak at events I never thought possible. Like, I haven't even recorded anything yet, and just being able to say it and say I'm part of it has already elevated them. So I can't imagine what's going to happen over the next few weeks and months as we introduce them to the play. So that's awesome. I love that. Alex, same question to you. Who, in your opinion, who shouldn't do this, brother?
Holly, you should have given me more time. I didn't have time to think of my... I'm just kidding. I knew right away. Just so you know, if you would have flipped that, I would have been ready as well. Who shouldn't do this is the host that isn't ready. Mm-hmm. Now, what I mean by that is the host that is not going to do a good job interviewing who you say this biggest, most ideal client is for you. If you don't have the skill set to do a good job in the interview, you're not ready. Now, I know that some of that will be involved in the training, but if you know at your core that, like, I just don't have it yet, then don't. Wait till you feel the confidence knowing I can at least learn this. But if you're still below that, again, I know that the mastermind side of it will help a lot, but if you're just like, man, I'm just not there, don't do this prematurely. Timing is extremely important. If you jump into it too soon and you're not ready for the authority that's going to come with this, your foundation is going to crumble, because your foundation is your ability and your faith in yourself.
I love you for saying that. This is it's like a giant spotlight. You better be ready for the spotlight, because if there's any major crack showing, or you don't know what it is you're doing, or you don't know what it is you're offering, or worse still, you don't even know who your avatar is, you have no idea who it is you're actually going to want to talk to right now, you're absolutely spot on. This is not a magic pill. Like, this is for people who have a business but are their industry's best kept secret and need to be highlighted, illuminated, whatever you want to call it. This is not for, I want to start a business and I think this might sound like a good idea, let's go do it. You're not ready yet.
And listen, none of us are ever going to be fully ready. You just will know this season. And you've got to be in that season where you're like, you know what? I've done the prep work. I still don't know what I'm jumping into, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know it's time. So, and that's up to you to be able to determine that and know. Who should do this? I think it's someone who knows what they offer and are fully ready to offer it. So that ideal client, again, you fully know what it is that you offer that person and you're ready to offer it. Not like, yeah, I know what I value add, but I'm not really sure how to do it yet. No, you need to know that in confidence, maybe not the ins and outs of it. Again, that's what this will help with, but saying, here's a value add, here's how I do it, I'm ready to go. If you can say those things, this is going to be for you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Look, and I'll wrap it up with this. I love both of those points from both Holly and Alex, but I'll share this. So who shouldn't do this? I'll go a slightly different direction. Who shouldn't do this? If you're only interested in elevating yourself, don't do this. This is about building communities, helping people, serving a wider audience. If you're here to just scam people out of money, I'm not interested in talking to you. There's other people that you can buy programs from that will show you how to gain some fake authority and go and become Instagram famous. Leave me alone. I'm not interested in helping you do that. Who should do this? The flip side. If you are here to service people, if you know that you have a skill, a talent, a superpower that helps people, and you have customers who love you, you get referrals, you just need more people to know. If you've ever had the thought process, if more people knew I existed, they would want to do business with me, then this is for you. This is absolutely for you. We will include the links to everybody's profiles and how you can get in touch with us to learn more about the program underneath. There is not going to be a cheesy sales letter or video sales letter or just a come sign up on a ClickFunnels page. As I said, this is invitation only, so if you would like to be invited, come and introduce yourself to us using the links below. You'll join a small group chat. No charge, no pressure, no nothing. We'll get to know each other. We'll see if it's a good fit, and if we start to resonate with each other, you'll be ended up speaking with one of the 3 people on this screen right now, and who knows, this could be your invitation to the Cool Kids table and to the top of your industry. Holly, Alex, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's incredibly valuable. Guys, you would not be surprised to learn it was pretty difficult to get all three of us on the screen at the same time. Holly sleeps at weird times as well, which also doesn't help.
Hey, Phil, I want to add one more thing, though. So
yeah, hit it.
For folks who are hearing this and you're really excited, but you're also equally or a little scared, that doesn't mean you're not supposed to sign up. That actually means you're in exactly the right space. And I would encourage you to, sign up for the group call and learn more about it, ask questions. And then the second thing is this works for everyone. It can be a local business. You can be international. You could be selling products. You can be selling services. It really works for everyone. And that's why the mastermind is there to give you strategy. So in case you're having those little objections that we all hear sometimes when we're stepping into something slightly uncomfortable that's going to grow us, I just want to encourage you to sign up anyway, because it's there and it's going to be amazing.
Do you know what the irony is? Is that somebody watching this thinking, yeah, I'm ready for this, probably isn't ready. The person who's sat listening to this going, this sounds great, I'm not ready for this. Yes, you are. Like, you are exactly who we are talking to. Look, this is the framework. This isn't just we're going to turn the spotlight on and away we go. This is the structure, the framework. And I often say I've tried every wrong door to figure out the right one. So this is you standing on the shoulders of giants. This is us plugging you into what works for you, mixing it with the ingredients that make you unique, make you special, make your business unique and special, your superpower and your avatar, and just helping you to achieve amazing things. So I'm super excited. I hope you can tell. This is just, there's so many people that have just... I wasn't going to share this, but I will. I went to 20 former customers thinking that 10 of them would take this. 19 of them took it. One of them's retiring. So that was probably Holly's joke behind the retiring thing, right? So that completely overwhelmed me. But people have seen the value of this and they've gone, I'm in and I'm ready. Just show me what to do. And don't get me wrong, there are people in there who are like, I already create content. I'm probably going to have to change my strategy. That's a bit of a pain, but at least it's going to work. Then there are other people that are like, I've never done an interview ever before in my entire life. I've never created this, but I'm ready and you guys are going to show me. And that's the joy of starting from the position that we do, is it doesn't matter whether you're coming into this a seasoned podcast pro or television pro or brand new, no one's ever heard of you before. We're going to teach you all the same process that works, that's going to put you on the map. And I'm super excited. So come and play. If you feel like this is a good fit, feels like it resonates with you, come have a play, come talk to us. If not, come and check out the content on Billionaires in Boxes and Pelucha TV. You will be seeing the future industry leaders, and in 6 to 12 months time you'll be kicking yourself that you are not one of them when you are sat in the audience watching them on stage. There's my piece. Right, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Lots of love to you both. Very much looking forward to working with you. And everybody who's watching, please share this. If you have heard this, if you've watched this and you think there's somebody that needs to hear it, you're probably right. Send it over to them. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side. Take care of yourself until then.
Yeah. If that's what you want, making money while you in your box of shorts, feel like nothing and nobody is stopping you. Even when they said it was impossible, no need for hesitation. Phil P, yeah, that's your man. Go from the best kept secret to the go-to brand. Let's go. Ay, billionaires in boxes. Ay, billionaires in boxes. Ay, time to grow, make the world know all about you. Ay, billionaires in boxes. Let's go.